see I'm getting close, I accelerate, going faster than fast, hit the gas, lose control, I won't crash, rolling high, put your money on the dash, throw the dice, lose control, I won't crash, rolling low, I won't crash, bring you slow, I won't crash, rolling, take, you running on the road, so get out the way, push the pedal to the floor, going all the way, yeah, you see I'm getting close, I accelerate, going faster than fast, hit the gas.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Betting News Network. Excited to have you guys with us to finish off your Tuesday workday. Welcome to the W. My name is Daniel Collins, aka Sweatpan Jesus. That is your favorite producer. That is Jess Sook. Excited to have you guys with us to finish off your Tuesday. And boy, oh boy, do we have a fun show for you guys today. We're missing our third horseman, Inzi, who's on vacation. You guys can all get really sad that Inzi's on vacation and you're not. But maybe you guys are joining us on vacation. So I don't know. We'll see. But vibes
is Enzi on a vacation? Is he?
Yeah, he did actually text us today that he said, guys, don't have kids. Because he has 2 kids and he had to go to like an 85-degree hot zoo with his 2 children, and he was like, if there's birth control, it's right there. So shout out to Inzi, though. We'll have him back next week to get you guys the moves in the dub. But to fill our third spot today, we do have a very special guest who'll be joining us in just a few minutes. Miss Kate Constable is going to be stopping by and talking all about the dub today, and we've got a lot to discuss today, dude, because we've got obviously the All-Star game around the corner this weekend. We've got the All-Star competitions, which just dropped. We're going to talk about some of that as well, and then we've got 2 games tonight that we're going to get to. Caitlin Clark and the Fever taking on the frisky, I guess, Connecticut Sun. We'll talk about that, and then we'll obviously talk about the second game on the
There's
West Coast.
adjectives for that team, and I don't know if frisky's the one.
It depends on the day. There's always a different adjective depending on the day, to be honest. And today, right now, I'm choosing frisky, but we'll see if that ends up being a good adjective or not. And then obviously we have one of my favorite teams to follow this season, the Washington Mystic, taking on the LA Sparks. We'll see how that goes down. We'll give you guys the bets in all of those games, and then also we'll cook a little bit of a parlay for some fun to finish off the show. Thanks for stopping by. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on Twitch or on X, wherever you guys are consuming this content, thanks for being here. Give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. The content is always free for you guys, and all we ask is you just give us a little love, just a little bit, just a little sprinkle of love. That's all we need. But vibes are high. Sook is feeling good today. We had a good talk earlier today. You guys gave us some moves that you guys liked earlier today, but we've got some stuff that we're going to discuss with you all in both of these games tonight and talk a little bit about the dub with our very special guest. Before we bring her up, do you have anything else that you'd like to say before we talk to Miss Kate?
Oh, just reminder for the people, go check out Eurobasket. It's going to be at the end of August, and Slovenia plus 1200. I was just texting SPJ about this, but they're in the group of death with France. If they make it out of that group stage, that plus 1200 is going to look like a genius move 60 days out from the tourney, or 30 days out.
Sook actually texted me, quote, word for word, if you like Luluka that much, bet on Slovenia. That's the bet. So that was the text that I got about 30 minutes ago. So there you go.
He's won it before.
Yeah, for sure. I got duped by the fact that an early photo of him got posted on the timeline, and it was from like 2 years ago, and I thought it was current Luka. But
I thought it was AI.
Yeah, I was about to say it's either AI or a photo from 10 years ago. That'll just get you every single time. But all right, chat. No reason to leave her in the shadows any longer. Let's get our special guest up here. Super excited to chat with her about the WNBA. It's been too long since you had her on the show. Excited to have her back. This is Kate Constable.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business.
What is going on? Welcome.
The intros remain undefeated. I feel so special every time I come on this show because those intros get me fired up.
We try to make everybody feel really special, like you're going up to a WWE event. And I was going to make something new for you this time, and I watched that one and I was like,
that one's awesome.
That works great. Hell yeah.
That one's awesome.
Well, excited to have you here. Thanks for stopping by, chat. Go follow Kate if you haven't already. Maybe you've seen her on some of her other shows and other content as well. But super excited to have you here back on the show. It's been like a year. Last year, I think around maybe a little later, but around I think around this time last year. Yeah, something like that.
It's good to be back. It's been far too long.
Far too long. How's it been going? What's been going on in your life? We can kind of catch up a little bit before we jump straight in talking the
What's
dub.
been going on? Just enjoying summer. Summer in Chicago, there's absolutely nothing better. Being outside a ton, trying to get a handle on what's going on in the W, and now gearing up for football. I can't believe we're like, what, a month out? A little over a month from like college football games starting.
Yeah.
I had a beer
Training
the other
camps.
day that just
let's
gave
go.
me the like crisp fall. It was like a craft beer, which I don't typically drink, but it just brought me to like a patio on a Saturday afternoon, drinking beer, watching football, and it was I'm excited for that to be actually happening sometime soon.
See, you know how to butter your bread. Chat's loving that comment. Yeah. See, we have been talking about football a little bit. Training camp right around the corner. We're obviously going to talk about the WNBA on this show, but I keep posting stuff on the timeline of like, you smell that? It smells like football, right? It's
It does.
Closer.
Starting.
It's getting closer. It's getting there. You're a Bears fan, right?
I am a Bears fan. Yeah, I grew up in Minnesota, but I was never a Vikings fan growing up. My family, we just didn't really watch a ton of football. We were more basketball, hockey, being from Minnesota. So I moved to Chicago. I've been here 10, 11 years now. So I'm an adopted Bears fan, not a true childhood Bears fan, but I mean, a decade of following a team and a team that doesn't win a whole lot. I've stuck around. So yes, I am a Bears fan through and through now.
I'm a Titans fan, so I feel you.
Oh, that's might be worse than being a Bears fan.
100%. I've enjoyed some runs of goodness, and then I've dealt with some absolute just bottom of the barrel situations too. So it's been one of those situations. We're going to talk basketball in a second, but since we're talking football now, just real quick, outlook for the Bears. How you feeling? Do you feel like what's your temperature check on Ben Johnson coming in? Like, what do you think about Caleb Williams year 2? Like, what's your thoughts?
I mean, hang the banner for the offseason title. We won that last year. We won it again this year. Let's just see if it can translate. I think this situation, and I mean, so many people, including myself, said this last year with Caleb Williams coming in, like the situation couldn't be better. If Ben Johnson can handle being a head coach and not just an offensive coordinator, I think the Bears will have some success, but it's the Bears. And every time people think that they're going to, everything just kind of goes to the wayside. So I'm cautiously optimistic. That's how I'm describing the season.
I was in Chicago last year for week 1. We had our betting news meetup in Chicago last year. Sad we didn't get to see you actually when we were there. We'll blame Colby for not inviting me. But we'll blame Colby for sure. Yeah, it's easy. But I had to watch Titans Bears game 1, obviously, and was feeling really good going into the rest of that game. And then obviously we know how the rest of that game went. And then I had Colby's screaming Bears face for at the end of it to have that as the exclamation point for that. So
yeah, that was rough. I went to that game and it was like so sad in the first half. The stadium was just kind of quiet and blah, and then things turned around a little bit. So good ending.
It was the reverse for me. I was in a casino watching with everybody, and it was about 90% Bears fan, and I was the only Titans fan, and I was feeling really good at the end of the first half. And in the back of my head, I was thinking, they're going to shit the bed somehow. Something's going to happen here, and they, of course, ended up doing that. But anyway, we got plenty of time to talk football. Let's get straight to the dub. So I want to just kind of talk a little bit about the league. We got a couple games tonight, which we're going to discuss. We're excited to hear kind of break those down with you too. But what's been how long have you been following the dub? Like, how long have you been a fan? Like, what's your kind of like going into this season? What were you kind of hoping for as the league continued to grow? Like, what have you liked so far this season?
Yeah, I can't say I've been a fan for like my entire life by any means. But I started handicapping it 3 or 4 years ago, and that's when I like really started to enjoy it. Was my first year fully handicapping, and I was writing about it daily. And so you feel like you're just like locked into all these storylines and know what's going on. And that was before betting on the WNBA really was a popular thing or more mainstream. It still isn't, one of the sharper sports that the books have out there, but it's getting there. It's getting better. Better for the books, not so good for us. But so that's kind of what drew me initially into following the W, and then I've stuck around and continued to obviously handicap it. I also went to Iowa, so you see my Caitlin Clark stuff behind me. She's obviously been a big draw for many people, so following her career has also just been exciting and fun. So I'm here to stay for the W, not just handicapping it, but also kind of enjoying the games, the storylines, and a lot of very good players as well.
It's been so cool. I got into it last year, a little more casual last year, but I was tired of betting baseball, and I was like, I got to have something to bet through the
I can't bet baseball. I'm not a baseball person.
See you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah, me either. I mean, I'll tail, every once in a while, but I'm just not into it as much. So it kind of it scratches my itch through the summer.
Yep.
And last year I got into it, really followed it near the end of the season and stuff. But this year I've kind of started from the beginning and really kind of followed the whole season. And it's been great because there's also been so many fantastic storylines. You obviously had the Valkyries in their first season. We're going to talk about this Mystics team in a little bit. They've been fun with all their rookie talent. A lot of rookies have come in and made a difference. Obviously, Angel Reese's progression into year 2 has been spectacular as well. Caitlin Clark, like you mentioned, even though it's been a little bit of a down year with some injuries, she still brings all the stuff that she brings. I know you said you're a Clark fan, but what's been some of the storylines this season that have you've been enjoying either watching, betting, following, or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, Caitlin Clark aside, all the rookies this year, whether it's Paige Beckers, you mentioned the Mystics, Sonia Citron, Kiki Irafin, they have been so fun to watch. And I think a lot more, I don't want to say a lot more talented, but just I didn't expect them to have this much success early on. We expected that from Paige to an extent, but even for Paige, I think she's surpassed a lot of expectations. And so you have all these rookies that have stepped in to the league and made an impact right away. And the Mystics going forward, they have the easiest schedule left coming out of the All-Star break. They could be winning a ton of games. So that's been a very fun storyline. The Valkyries, I did not think very highly of them coming into this season. And I know I probably wasn't alone in that because they're an expansion team. What do you expect from them in their first season? Not a whole lot. They've exceeded expectations. And then it also has kind of been fun, and maybe fun isn't the right word, but I kind of like that the Aces aren't great this year. They still have the talent to be good, but they've just been so up and down that it's fun to kind of see some other teams stay near the top or be near their top. Phoenix Mercury, as of late, they've been very fun to watch. That's a team that I think is going to be dangerous down the stretch and maybe even into the playoffs. So those have been some of my top storylines.
I love it. Yeah, I actually booked it. My buddy NZ and I booked a ticket for the Mercury to win the championship at 1,500 plus 1,500 about 2.5 weeks ago. And we were thinking this was when the whole Bonner situation was kind of falling through with the fever. And we were like, it's going to totally happen. She's going to want to go play back with her wife in Phoenix. And she ended up doing that later. And now they're, I think, plus 600 or 700 to win. But I love Satu Sabali. Been following her all season long. She's been great. Obviously, she's on the shelf right now before the All-Star break, but that team is dangerous, like you mentioned. The Seattle Storm have been fun too. I love Skylar Diggins, what she's done, and Gabby Williams is a big Sook follower down there as well. So I love the rookies though, like you mentioned. I've been banging the table about Kiki Irafin since the beginning of the season. I actually have a ticket for her to win Rookie of the Year when Beckers was on the shelf for a few weeks. I think Beckers is going to win it at this point, but it's been fun kind of paying attention to that aspect of things. And as you mentioned with the Valkyries, we're going to talk about the other expansion team in just a second, but we talked about it on the show, I don't know, maybe about a month ago, but they actually still have the #1 attendance in the entire WNBA as an expansion team, as in the Valkyries, the most attendance that they've experienced in their home games. And have you seen some videos from that stadium?
No, I haven't, but I've heard, podcasts that I listen to, one of them recently said, you think Indiana has a great home court atmosphere, and they do because it's sold out and everything. But the Valkyries rivals that just with how loud that stadium gets. And it's not fully sold out every night, but those fans, they don't just show up to watch the game, sit back, have their popcorn. They are into it. So that would be, I think if the Valkyries can continue to win and make the playoffs, that's not going to be an easy place to play.
Absolutely. And I actually shout out to one of our followers, Austin, who on the other show that we had, he pitched this about 6 weeks ago. The Valkyries win total, or I guess it was about a month ago. The Valkyries win total at that point was 14.5, and it was plus money. And then for them to make the playoffs was really nice plus money. And both of those are looking like they're going to smack. Yeah. And as you said, kind of unexpectedly with how good this team is. So it's been awesome. There's the parity throughout the league has been great. Like you mentioned, we didn't even talk about probably the two quote unquote best teams with the Lynx and the Liberty. But Nafisha Collier has been fantastic. That Courtney Williams has also been amazing for that team, and the Liberty they've been a little down, especially since John Cole Jones being out of the lineup. But if you had to pick right now, before we talk about what we got some news today, if you had to pick right now, what team do you think has which team you looking at as a fun team that you think can make some noise going to possibly winning a championship?
I wish I had a 15. What did you have? You said
15 to 1. Yeah.
15 to 1 ticket on the Mercury. I think they have a really good shot. I'm not sure it's going to be the Liberty's year this year. I mean, they got off to a great start, but their schedule was fairly easy. And then just with the injuries, Jonquil Jones, I'm not sure I like and you're not getting a great price if you're betting on the Liberty right now to win the title. A little bit of a homer take because I am from Minnesota, but I do love the Lynx. I love Nafisa Collier. That team, I mean, for them to make as far as a run as they did last year, and they were like one possession away from winning the title, and then to come back and have a similar season in terms of the success, the continuity. You have a championship winning coach in Cheryl Reeves. So they're a team that they've been my winner all season long. So I can't really stray too far from that. But also if Ryan Howard didn't get injured for the Atlanta Dream, they were a team that I thought could, I mean, maybe make it out of the first round. Maybe they weren't a title contender, but they surprised a lot of people this season with a new head coach, with a lot of different pieces on that team. And they played really well. So sucks Ryan Howard's out only till hopefully the end of July. They'll reevaluate and she can get back in and kind of get in rhythm before the playoffs. But, Lynx right now, that's my number one squad.
Nothing wrong with that. And I mean, as you mentioned, Collier's been awesome, but Courtney Williams has been so good on that team this season.
And Courtney, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no, it's okay.
What's the stream thing that Courtney Williams is doing? Have you seen that?
I think it's like it's kind of like what Kyrie Irving's also doing. It's like, she brings in players and kind of talks to him and does the whole like interview process and has some fun and things like that. I mean, I'm here for it. It's it's growing the game. It's growing. It's also showing her personality, which she has a very eclectic personality for sure. But it's translated. I mean, she's been awesome. She's going to be in the All-Star game this weekend and deservedly so. And that team's been really good. Just on the note on the Dream too, Alicia Gray, fantastic, another all-star starter. We're going to talk about her in a second with the 3-point competition too. But Jordan Canada coming back for that team. I mean, she's looked fantastic the last 4 or 5 games. So Ryan Howard being out is going to be a little bit like, damn, you're going to miss like an all-star type player. But Canada's been amazing. So that team's definitely going to be forced to be reckoned with when we get into the playoffs. It's going to be fun. We also have some Dream fans in the chat, so I had to make sure to shout them out once again too, to get the vibes there. So let's talk a little news, and then we'll kind of keep rolling and talk about some bets for today. But as we talked about, there is another expansion team that is happening. It just came out earlier today. The Portland Fire are going to be returning after a short stint in 2000 to 2002 before they hung it up in Portland. They're going to be the next expansion team that just got announced earlier today. Also, I saw that they've already done I want to say like 60% of their ticket sales already, even though it just dropped that they're going to be joining the WNBA in 2026. And I looked a little bit into it today as well as to why they chose the Fire and the Rose on like the coordination with the Portland kind of culture and stuff like that as well. So super cool. Any thoughts on this, especially as somebody who maybe has not followed it super long time, but the league's growing, and I think it's awesome that it's a cool place to go to.
Yeah, I like that this is one of the former franchises and they're bringing it back for a second chance. And now the game has grown. Fans have, followers have grown, that hopefully it'll be a success this time around. I don't see why it wouldn't. And you mentioned, I think that logo is awesome. I think the name is great. They did a great job with all of their branding. And I read something prior because I was trying to be prepared for all of this. But you mentioned there are a lot of nods to Portland within that logo and everything. And I can't tell you what those are off the top of my head right now. But there are plenty of them. Even something within the P, it's like some bridge. Go look it up, do a little research. But that's pretty cool to kind of integrate whatever the word is. Integrate. Thank you. All of that stuff within the logo. And I like the colors too. The black, the red. That's kind of badass. I like it.
Hey, shout out to you for doing some research before you joined the show.
Tried.
There you go.
Tried.
Yeah. No, I
tried.
Hey, you got like 75% of the way there. That's
there we go.
We have another guy on the show who's in the chat right now sometimes, and he'll be given the best sell job ever, and then he'll forget like the most easy name of all time after he just read off all these really crazy stats, and then we just don't help him give the name because it's funny.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
But the bridges. There we go in the chat. The bridges that connect the town, the 12 bridges.
or the T1, if you don't know how to spell in the chat, I
T1.
guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the color combination is dope too. I think I
Mhm.
saw red and black, and then all brown and pink also are like alternate colors. So I'm sure they're
Oh,
going to have some fun with integrating that with some
yeah.
alternative jerseys, I would imagine. And they did also drop all of their like swag already. And I mean, I don't want to be like a bandwagon swag type of guy, but I've really gotten into hats, and some of the hats were absolutely
Mm.
incredible. So,
I look
could be
terrible in
fun.
hats, so I may opt for like a sweatshirt or something. I have a really big
There you
head,
go.
and hats just don't work on me. So
I remember, I don't know if you were, I can't remember if you said this on the show or if we were talking about this separately, but I think you had like a take where like it's really difficult for you because obviously you're a lady with nice hair and you have to wear headphones and there's no good way to look
oh,
in
yes.
these types of headphones.
I hate when I have to wear those. You look awful in them because it like clamps your hair down, and so it makes your head look all smushed and then nothing. It's just, yeah. If I can get by without having to wear headphones, I always will. And same with
Mhm.
hats. Don't look good in
I,
hats either.
See, I can do the hats and it helps with these. And then sometimes if my hair is like freshly washed and as a long haired
Yeah.
person, I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, all right,
right.
it looks fine.
You
Yeah.
you don't have the same problem even though you have long hair.
I mean, it's in a bun right now, so I guess
All
it
right,
doesn't look terrible, but whatever.
that helps.
Long hair problem, people. You guys get it if you have long hair out there. Okay, well, we got some news also today, right before we started, pretty much. We've got the All-Star game this weekend. A couple more days. There's a big slate tomorrow, and then we go on the break before the weekend. And they said that this was going to be an incredible 3-point competition, and Kate, they didn't lie. They got 5 superstars that are going to be competing in this competition this year. This is the 3-point contest. It's going to be going down on Friday. As you mentioned, the rookie from Washington, Sonia Citron, is going to be there. Caitlin Clark is going to be there. Alicia Gray from the Dream. Sabrina Ionescu has been in this competition previously. And Kelsey Plum. I mean, in my opinion, they knocked it out of the park. Any early thoughts? What do you think about this? Do you have any leans on a player you're feeling like taking right now? What are we thinking?
I mean, I have already taken Sabrina Ionescu 3-1.
All right.
It's down
Let's
to
go.
260 within the last 30 minutes. Caitlin Clark is the favorite. I don't think she should. I mean, it makes sense that she's the favorite. She's Caitlin Clark. She's the 3-point shooting queen, blah, blah, blah. But she's not shooting the ball very well right now. And
Really
Sabrina
isn't.
Ionescu, like in the competitions that she has been in, she's just dominated. I mean, she almost beat Steph Curry. If Steph didn't have a all-world performance himself, like Sabrina would have won that. So she has plenty of experience doing it. She knows how to pace herself. She knows how to, it's different shooting in a game versus grabbing a ball off the rack and doing, like Caitlin Clark said even last year when they asked her to do the NBA 3-point contest with Sabrina and Steph, that she hadn't shot off a rack or in a competitive manner like that very often. So I'm not taking Caitlin Clark to win, especially as the favorite. You got to take someone further down the board. Alicia Gray, she won last year. She's a good look. Kelsey Plum finished last in the competition she was in 2022, I want to say. She only had 14 shots. Doesn't mean she's not going to, have a good performance this time. Sonia Citron at plus 850 or around that. My only concern is, does she have some nerves, some jitters? She's a rookie coming in against Caitlin Clark and Ionescu, like these big time names. What is that? I think it'd be awesome if she were able to win. I just probably won't be betting on her.
No, I mean, she's been a great story. And we're going to talk about that team for the last part of the second game tonight and how good she's been. And I mean, I've watched quite a few Mystics games because I've kind of fallen in love with this team, especially the, I made the mistake of calling Shakira Austin and Kiki Iriafen the Twin Towers on the timeline. And the Chicago Sky fans came for me.
Yeah.
And then I found out that they were coming for me incorrectly because they're actually called the Skyscrapers, but other people were still thinking that was the deal. Yeah, which I thought was better. But then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make up a new name for these ladies, and they're going to be called the Washington Monuments, and that's how that's going to go.
That is phenomenal.
Thank you.
I can get on board with the Washington Monuments.
Thank you. I'm trying to get the Mystics to pick it up too, and then I think it'd be perfect for these two wonderful big ladies down there.
Have we reached out to the Mystics? Are we tagging them and everything?
I've tagged them in a few things. I might have to be a little more pesky about it to get them to that particular point because I think it's a pretty cool name.
It is actually very clever. It's very good.
Thank you. And I like both of those ladies. They've been great. But Citron's been awesome too. I've watched this team a bunch. She's been really, really smooth and great. And obviously Brittany Sykes has been great too. But I like the Ionescu play. I don't know yet what I'm going to take. I'm going to bet something because, as you mentioned, there's going to be value on one of these. I'm going to watch it on Friday night for some fun. Kind of sprinkle it just like you did the home run derby yesterday, Chad. If you want to get involved with that, you can go check out our sponsors at BetOnline. Click that QR code in the top corner of the screen if you'd like to get involved between now and Friday. But we're also going to talk about a couple bets that you guys can take tonight. You're not going away, but it's so nice talking to W. It's really cool having you here. It's super great. Go follow Kate if you guys haven't already on the timeline on X. If you want to go and check out some of her shows and other content that she does for BetMGM. You said you're hosting for them all week this week, right?
I am. I am hosting Bet Sweats from 9 to noon Eastern. I always have to calculate Eastern to Central. It's tough in this brain. 9 to noon Bet Sweats on the BetMGM network all week. So it's been fun so far.
Nice. What have you guys been gabbing about mostly? Have you been sticking mostly to baseball chatter? Have you guys started pivoting to talking some football and stuff?
No, we're starting to do previews. We're doing conference previews in college. We're doing division previews in the NFL. We'll talk a little golf tomorrow, which will be an interesting topic because Chris Mack, who is co-hosting with me, neither of us are golf bettors a ton.
Okay.
So that'll be an interesting topic, but we're going to have some fun with it. Tomorrow, actually, we are ranking because the whole quarterback article came out on ESPN that everyone's all up in arms about. So we're ranking the top 5 worst spots for quarterbacks this upcoming season.
Interesting.
I mean, you have to get creative at this point in the summer when there's absolutely nothing going on. All-Star game for baseball will be over by tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Funny. We ranked our top 10 quarterbacks yesterday on Betspresso. Yeah. We went kind of just ranking our top 10 and our list was better than ESPN's respectfully. It was fun to talk about that for sure. Okay. We've got 2 games tonight that we're going to actually, you know what, since we just chatted about it, here's our list. You can make fun of us if you want to. What do you think? So we started with Mahomes up top. I think the top 4 you can kind of mix and match, especially after Mahomes, 2 through 4. And then we kind of filled the rest of it out. So just kind of preliminarily looking at that before we jump into these W games tonight.
I would have Jaden Daniels up a little higher than Jared Goff. I may swap those 2, but I kind of need to see another season from Jaden Daniels to reassure me that he's actually who we think he is. So that would be my only critique. Otherwise, I think it's pretty good. I like that Jalen Hurts is a little higher. I know everyone was up in arms about that in the ESPN article that he was 9. I think Baker has been playing well, so having Baker on that list where he was off the ESPN one, I believe.
He was. Honorable mention. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
We fought about the 10 spot with Herbert. This was also, we had a caveat of like best situation going into 2025. So not necessarily ranking their careers, more of what like if you had to choose a quarterback going into this season with current offensive line, current system, current, weapons, all that jazz. And that was our ramifications for this. Herbert was the only one that we really kind of hardcore argued about. Herbert and Stroud and Jordan Love were the 3 that we kind of were thinking about popping into that 10 spot. And our buddy Vsauce, who's a huge Packers fan, was very mad we didn't do Jordan Love. But we settled on Herbert because of the chat pretty much. So
I think Herbert's a good choice there. I like what hopefully the Chargers will do this year.
We shall see. Well, anyway, there's a random football conversation. Excited to see what you guys put together for the bottom 5. I'm assuming the Titans are going to appear on there. Unfortunately,
they will certainly be appearing on there. Might even be number 1. Yeah.
Oh, great. That's fantastic for me. It's okay. It's not as bad as last year. I had their over 5.5 win total, and I bought a Will Levis jersey. So that's
about as rough as it could get.
Can't get any worse for me in that situation, eh?
No, it really can't.
It's okay. It's all right. I think chat's forgiven me. I've not really forgiven myself, but that's all that matters. All right, let's take a quick little pause. We'll get Sook back up here, and then we'll talk about these 2 games tonight. Chat, we got this funny new fancy little intro thing, so we're just going to play that for a second and get you guys ready to rock and roll, and then we'll talk about these 2 games this evening. All right, we got Sook in the house now. There you go. Put Kate in the middle. Let's talk about these 2 games this evening. We gabbed a little bit about the just the league in general and some fun and things going on this season. Sook has been a big fan of the Seattle Storm because he loves Gabby Williams. Sook, did you have any additional things you wanted to add on how much of the WNBA, since Kate is up here with you now and you're not locked in the basement in the shadows?
Yeah, I guess my only question would be, Kate, what did you think about Sophie Cunningham's thoughts about like them being a little bit more creative with their expansion spots, whereas the WNBA was trying to be pretty loyal to like the traditional basketball markets of like Philadelphia, and now we're seeing the return to Portland, whereas Sophie was kind of like, hey, we need a little bit more exotic places, places that will attract players. Do you think that Sophie kind of had a point, or do you think that, hey, let's kind of build up the traditional basketball bases first, and then we can get creative later?
I mean, I think Sophie's point of like, would you prefer to go to Miami or would you prefer to go to Cleveland? I think most people would prefer to go to Miami, right? Like, she's not wrong in that. I know she took a bunch of flack for those comments, but the thing is like these expansion teams have to be able to survive in these cities. And so they're kind of coupled up with NBA franchises because you need that in order to launch a new team, a new organization. You kind of need the help from an NBA franchise, as much as WNBA fans might not want to admit that. Like, it's kind of the reality of like
the Pacers relationship, the Warriors relationship, right? It's shining through right now.
The Mercuries, like the Phoenix, the ownership there. I mean, even like Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lowry with the Timberwolves just came out today or yesterday and said that they're going to be, you know, throwing more funds the Lynx way and their facilities, all that stuff. So I think that's part of it is like you need to have a NBA team kind of coupled in that same area.
Yeah. Well, it was a great point about the Fever, because obviously with Caitlin Clark coming to town, that's changed the math completely. But with the run the Pacers made to the NBA Finals, with how involved Halliburton is with that team, and like going to games and stuff like that too, like that is one of those situations that is just it's unavoidable. You just look at how I think I saw a graphic right before we got started too and I didn't get to look at the article to make sure that it was legitimate, which is unfortunate nowadays. You have to do that, right? You can't just glance at something and go, oh, that's true. But it was basically saying, I want to say $56 million both of those teams brought in for the city of Indiana, or the city of Indianapolis and the state of Indiana. Just in revenue because of how good both of those teams have been. Obviously, the finals for the Pacers helped out a bunch, and what Caitlin Clark brings to the table too. So, yeah, I think you're right. The coupling makes a whole bunch of sense. I'm probably going to see that moving forward. I mean, the Portland team, the Trailblazers are already there, and you know we got really fun. Do you like the NBA? Are you an NBA fan?
Oh yeah, I love the NBA.
Okay. Yeah, nice. We'll have you on the NBA show when we get back into the NBA action very soon. Do you support an NBA team? Are you a Timberwolves fan?
Timberwolves. I'm a Timberwolves fan. Okay. Yes. Yes.
You like big Ant-Man guy or lady? Big Ant-Man lady?
Oh yeah. I love Ant-Man. He's my guy. His recent Ask Me Anything. Did you guys see that he did on Threads? It was amazing. No.
Did you see it, Sick? Oh, I gotta go watch this.
I mean, people asked him questions and his answer to everything was just hell nah. Hell nah. Like, it's not an Ask Me Anything if that's your response to this stuff. Like, it's supposed to be engaging to fans. Yeah. And we got to work with him on that a little bit.
You got to answer the questions, big dog. Come on now.
There was even a situation where he's at Summer League courtside and a fan in an opposing team's jersey comes up and he's like, can I get the autograph? And then somebody's like, yo, he's not even wearing a Timberwolves jersey. And he's like, nah, that's fine. I bust their ass anyways.
He's so good. The humor that comes out of that man's mouth is very entertaining, along with being pretty good at basketball.
Yeah, he's pretty decent. Well, and we talked about him a bunch last year that at this point, he's such an enigmatic figure. He's got that it factor, that swagger that you can't really replace. And obviously, as you mentioned, what he does on the court is second to none. What do you think, real quick, before we jump to these games? Did you see that Furphy slam last night?
That was, so being in Chicago, I do follow the Bulls quite a bit. They're my second team, and Noah Essengay, unless he goes on to win MVP, that's kind of all he's going to be known for, which is really unfortunate.
I said the same thing earlier today. Yeah. That guy better have a really good career, because otherwise that picture is going to live in
follow him
forever.
And it sucks too, because he was hooping in that game specifically.
He was.
He played well.
Chewy pointed it out to me earlier that the Bulls ended up actually winning that game. But I was like, it's the summer league, and everyone remembers the incredible windmill slam by an Australian dude. So good luck with that.
That was rough.
Cool. Well, we'll have you on the NBA show, which is going to be fun. We'll have that as we get closer to the NBA season starting. But we've got two WNBA games tonight to discuss with you guys. Let's get in and talk about a few of the bets that we're going to take out there this evening. First game on the docket, is your lady, Caitlin Clark. As you mentioned, she's been struggling a little bit, but the Fever have looked better over the last few games. They're going on the road here against the Connecticut Sun. 15.5-point dogs are the Sun at home. The Fever 15.5-point favorites. The over-under set at 166.5. This Sun team is really tough because, I mean, Sook even joked a couple of times about a couple weeks ago that is this team even a real team because of how they were just getting absolutely clapped in certain situations. And then they come in and randomly beat the Seattle Storm, which I like that team. Tina Charles has had really good games, and then she looks like she's, is she 36 or 37 in the very twilight of her career. So it's a tough team to kind of cap. Fever looking better, as I mentioned, with Clark coming back. I know you've got a couple bets in this game. What is your kind of overall thoughts on this one going in, especially as we get closer to the All-Star break?
Yeah. Earlier today on my show on Bet Sweats, when I was hosting, I said I kind of, I think the Sun can maybe hang around in this one. 15.5 is a lot. But then I realized that no, the Sun, they're off of two West Coast. They're back after a West Coast trip. That is never a good spot to back teams in. Whereas the Fever, they've been at home for a little while. Yes, they're on the road here today, but that's fine. So I'm not playing anything on the side or the total. I would lean towards the over in this one. I think, especially with the All-Star break in 2 days, that you might just get it fast paced up and down a game where the Fever try and run them out of the gym, which they certainly can. Also, I think before I get into my actual bet on this game, this is a big revenge game. This is Sophie Cunningham versus JC Sheldon. This is the game that Sophie kind of ripped her head off late to protect Caitlin. We've got some scrums towards the end of the game. So these teams are going to be fired up to go after each other tonight. That said, I'm going to take Tina Charles, who you're right, that she's kind of up and down. She's on a roller coaster all the time. But against the Leah Boston, she scores a ton. And even going back to last season when she was with the Dream, 17, 28, 24, and 2, which the 2-point performance last year, one of the bench players, Cheyenne Parker, just had a phenomenal game. It was one of those games where you just bench Tina Charles for her because she's playing well. And then this year, 18 points, 20 points against Aaliyah Boston. So I'm going to go Tina Charles over 15.5 and hope that she can continue that streak over Aaliyah.
I love this play. I have her PR in the parlay. I didn't end up betting her PR straight. She is also coming off a game where she shot really poorly. Didn't take a lot of shots too. Had a little bit of foul trouble in their last game. But before that, like I mentioned, against the Storm in those couple games, was absolutely hooping. I like this play a lot. I have a play on the Sun side of things, and then we'll flip over. And I know you got to play on the Fever side. I'm going with another rookie who's kind of come out of nowhere a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really love her game offensively. She's got a lot of developing to do offensively, but high motor, really good defender as well. She's in the starting lineup now. This is going to be her 9th start. I really like Sanaya Rivers, over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. She's obviously coming off her career high performance last game with 20 points against the Sparks. But I think this is just going to keep continuing. She's going to keep getting opportunities. She's hit this PRA line in 4 straight games. Like I said, she's not really a prolific offensive player. She's not going to have the same type of performances like Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark. She doesn't have that smoothness to her game, but good facilitator, good rebounder. I think she's good for a couple buckets. She's going to play 30-plus minutes as long as she doesn't get into foul trouble. So I think she can stick around at home here. As you mentioned, which I had kind of totally forgotten about the beef between these two teams right now. Unfortunately, no Marina Mayberry in the lineup, but she's probably going to be on the bench, I would imagine. So I would assume that she'll be chirping out there to get some vibes moving. So, but yeah, give me another rookie to kind of keep doing what she's been doing. A little bit of a lower PRA line as well for Sanaya Rivers. Let's move to the Fever side. Obviously, Caitlin Clark's been back. She looks better. The last game she looked pretty good. Still not quite like you mentioned earlier. Not really totally dialed in from 3 like we've come to expect from her. But her facilitating has been fantastic all season long. I know you're kind of leaning into that right here. What's your kind of overall takeaway from this Fever team?
Yeah, with how she's been shooting lately, I don't want to back any points, especially because if this game is a blowout, she's probably going to sit late in the game. But I do think the facilitating, the game speeds up when she is on the floor, which means more possessions, more opportunities for assists. So I'm going over 8.5 assists for Caitlin Clark tonight. I think you could even take an alt line and 10 plus. You get a little plus money there. She's had 9 or more assists in 9 of 12 games. The Sun are allowing the most assists to opposing teams of anyone in the league. And I mean, defensively, the Sun just are not great. I think Caitlin Clark can just kind of shred them and play quarterback all game and find Aaliyah Boston, find Sophie Cunningham, and those numbers for her assists are going to be there, I think, versus trying to figure out a way to play her points prop or anything like that, just with the unknowns of like, what's the second half of this game looking like. But she could easily rack up 5, 6, 7 assists in the first half alone. And we're looking pretty good going into the second.
Let's go.
As long as the Fever are making their layups and making their open opportunities, this should be a fine bet. But they've gotten better about it. Last year, it was obviously well documented of how many times she put people in incredible positions and they either just fumbled the bag or they just didn't make a layup. And it's been a lot better this year. They've gotten used to her kind of passing style. It's helped out, but there has been some moments where I've texted the guys and been like, damn, these ladies just love missing wide open layups, man. Come on now. But on that note, I'm going to roll with somebody who hopefully will get a lot of those passes from Caitlin Clark. And I'm going to take a person who has finally settled in with this team. Love Natasha Howard and what she's been able to do with this team. I'm taking her points and rebounds at over 17.5 for a minus 105 number. She had a double-double against this team when they played in that last game that you talked about, 16 points, 12 rebounds. She didn't really have much going on when they played on the 30th, 9 and 6, but she's been great over the last month for this team. It seems like I mentioned, she's finally settled in, good rebounder. I don't hate the points either or the rebounds individually. If you'd rather take one of the individual props here, she's good for probably about 7 to 10 shots in this game. Caitlin Clark probably going to find her down low for some dump down situations. Maybe Aaliyah Boston will feed her the ball too, as Aaliyah is one of the best passing bigs in the dub. So I'm going to keep riding this. I've ridden this prop quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. Cash me out more often than not. And if you're feeling frisky, chat, double doubles plus 700. Like I said, she has a double double against this team in the last one. Usually, in the WNBA, especially if I'm tackling a PR prop, I usually sprinkle the double double just because I didn't do it for Camila Cardoso the other day, and she had like 17 rebounds or something. So I was a little mad at myself for not locking that in then. So give me Natasha Howard to keep doing what she's been doing on hopefully a lot of Caitlin Clark's assists. That would be fantastic.
Great. So,
absolutely. So do you got any thoughts on this game before we move to the second game?
Yeah, I just have Aaliyah Boston, 11.5 R8. Kate's kind of seeing the game the same way that I am. I think it's going to be chippy. There's going to be opportunities for rebounding. If it's a messy game, if it's a fast game, she can get some assists. Also, with the history there with Charles, they've always had a little bit of a back and forth. So I think that she's had some outlier assist games with 8 against the Sun before. So I think that's a comfortable spot. And, whenever our boy Austin is on something, that you're usually on the right track. So that's the only play I had in this game because Aaliyah owes me some coin off this season. WNBA has been rough for me, but she'll get it back, I feel like, especially how well she plays with Caitlin back in the lineup, even though they're on the road. Like Kate said, they're coming back from travel. So Fever got a chance here to run them off the court for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody said earlier today that it's tough to want to take the 15.5 because, like you mentioned, the Fever have still been not 100% as a well-oiled machine as we were expecting with Clark returning to the lineup. Some of these other pieces kind of fitting in. And again, this Sun team, good luck capping how they're going to do tonight because they're very inconsistent. So we'll see. Hopefully it's a fun game. We shall find out. It could be one of those situations where it's definitely a 20 to 25 point win and you may not want to watch the second half, but we'll see. The second game has a little bit more oomph to it. This is the that's the wrong graphic. There we go. The Washington Mystics, as we talked about a little earlier, traveling to Los Angeles, West Coast game here in the Sparks taking on the Mystics. 1-point favorite, pretty much a pick 'em on either side. You can get some plus money on the Mystics if you want on the money line here. The over-under set at 165.5. We talked about some of the talented rookies earlier. Sparks, definitely one of the surprises of the dub this season so far for me, just with, I think Plum has not really lived up to some of the expectations. They're missing Cameron Brink, but Azera Stevens and or Azera Stevens, I say it in both different ways, and Derek Hamby have been really good for this team. So what's kind of your thoughts going into this game? Two teams that defensively aren't spectacular, which is maybe why your bet's going one direction, but what are you kind of thinking about this game?
Yeah, the Sparks defense is god awful. Like they are terrible, so bad on defense. It's tough to watch. I mean, I think they gave up 89, high 80s, 90s in 2 games to the Chicago Sky. And I watched a lot of Chicago Sky being in and the Sky's offense is not great. At least it hasn't been as of late. I know they had some success against Minnesota, but either way, this Sparks defense is just so bad. Second worst defensive rating in the league over their last 5 games. But on the other side, their offense can score. Second best offensive rating. So whenever we have a team that can score offensively and doesn't play any defense, I always look towards overs. Now, I do recognize that the Mystics do have the best defensive rating in the league over their last 5 games. So they're playing very well on that side of the ball. But they can also, Washington can also score in bunches. If you go back to that Storm game the other night, they had a 10-point deficit in the fourth quarter. They outscored Seattle 27-14. And so, they can get hot and go on these runs where I don't think LA is going to be able to slow them down at all. So over here, it's been creeping up throughout the day, 164.5. I also liked the Mystics just to win this game outright, just because I think that they are a far better team. But the way this line has just been kind of all over the place. I mean, it opened at Sparks -4.5, flipped all the way to Mystics -1.5, and now the Sparks are favored again. So that's kind of just throwing me off a little bit, that I'm just going to stick to the over here. But I do lean towards the Mystics winning this one.
Yeah, getting the Mystics at plus money feels like a present.
Yeah, something a little fishy.
Yeah, they don't give out gifts usually. But as you mentioned to start the show too, the WNBA lines are not as sharp as some other ones. So there are some times, especially in the prop department, where the gift is as advertised. It's a present. So you got to take them sometimes. But I like this over a bunch. Definitely feel like that could be something we can maybe put into the parlay for sure. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. I'm going to go with somebody on the prop side of things. Actually, I have 2 props in this game. The first one is, though, I kind of talked about her a little bit earlier. Brittany Sykes, she over 24.5 PRA. It was 23.5 earlier in the day. She's had great games, a former Spark. So she has the revenge narrative situation in this particular situation too. But she's had great games against the Sparks previously. The last time she played against them, albeit it was last season, she had 28 points in this game, cruised over this PRA. A little bit of an inconsistent shooter. She kind of does whatever's best for the situation, depending upon what's going on throughout the game. That's why I wanted to rope in the PRA. Good facilitator, obviously, with being the primary ball handler. Good rebounder too. As I mentioned, hit this in the last 2. And as you said, the Sparks team, negative defense. So not going to overthink it. I think Sykes has a good opportunity here. But my favorite play is somebody that I've bet on a lot this season. And one of my favorite rookies, also returning home a little bit here. Give me Kiki Iriafen, or Iriafen. I like saying Iriafen, but I know it's Iriafen. Over 18.5 points and rebounds. Obviously, she's been great this season. Double-doubles in 2 of her last 3 games. The double-double is almost plus 300, Chad, if you'd like to get involved with that as well. But she's returning to a situation to play basically down the road where she went to college. She went to USC. She's going to probably have a lot of family in the house in this situation too. De'Erica Hamby and Azura Stevens are good defenders, but I don't think they're going to be able to handle the Washington monuments of Kiki Iriafen and Shakira Austin. Somebody said earlier that Austin got a little banged up last game. I'm not seeing her on the injury report, so I think she should be fine and good to go in this one. I don't hate her points either. I think she should have a good game, but I'm going to roll with Kiki. Do you love me? Please have a good game, my lady, and rock and roll. So I lean with you, though, pretty heavily. I think the Mystics should get the job done here. Last point on this, too, which I'll tease Sook up. I think if the Sparks are going to win, that we're going to have a lot to say about Madam Kelsey Plum. I think that Plum would probably be the reason that they would get over the hump here, which tees you up, Sook, as to why you like Madam Plum tonight, eh?
Yeah, she plays a lot better at home. And just for that reason, the Mystics, their defensive rating does look pretty good. Middle of the pack, they've been better as of late, but they're 13th in both steals and blocks forced on the defensive end. Whenever that's a stat, I always talk about this in the NBA, it just tells me that you can't create pressure. And like Kate said, like you said, the Sparks have talent on the offensive end. And if you're not going to be able to get up under them, get up over them on the glass and block shots, I just think there's going to be a lot of movement to be had. Kelsey plays great at home. So I just took her points and assists over 23.5, hitting 6 of the last 7 at home. I just think that, like I said before, I think I'm seeing this game the same as Kate. I think it could be up and down. Kelsey, obviously, we're going to see her in that 3-point contest. I think she has an opportunity here to take advantage of kind of that Mystics defense that is kind of looking better, but the raw stats are still telling you they're not forcing turnovers. They're not making different plays that they need to make to kind of turn the wheel and become an actually very, very good basketball team.
They're missing Cameron Brink. I think they really need that
And
defensive
she'd had a lot of
presence.
blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Well, they're
would.
missing. We talked about this earlier that they're missing kind of that defensive anchor down low because Hamby and Austin are both fine defenders, but they're not really spectacular defenders, and I think they're really missing her presence down there as well. So we'll see if maybe when she returns in July, or I guess after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
They said June. Now they're saying July. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, ACLs are tough. So we'll see what happens. Real quick, Kate, did you ever watched her podcast with her and Dearica Hamby?
I've only ever seen like any clips that are posted. I've never listened to a full episode, but maybe do I need to? Is it pretty good?
It's actually pretty decent. I've only seen clips as well. I've watched like a half an episode one time, and it was entertaining for sure. There was one episode though where they were talking about Cameron Brink was discussing playing with on her cycle, like on her period.
Yeah.
And she was, and we talked about this further because I don't know if you know this or not, but apparently the reason why women tear their ACLs and have more ligament injuries than men is because of their periods. A lot of times it'll happen where because of the blood flow and the lack of nutrients that your body has when your body is menstruating, there's a more opportunity for you to tear your ACL. And that's actually what happened to Cameron Brink. She tore her ACL when she was on her cycle, and that happens quite often in women's sports. It was a super interesting concept that I never thought of, and I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Interesting.
I've never heard that and never thought about that either, but it does make sense. And I think you know a little bit more about the female body than I do. I mean,
I know. Hey, thank you. My wife would be proud of me right now. It's one of those. I didn't even think about it again. And Vsauce, one of our guys on here that covers the NBA, is that he's studying to be a doctor, and so he was like, "Yeah, this is actually true. It's a big thing that's talked about with a lot of female athletes." So, yeah, super fascinating.
That is crazy. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like scientifically, it checks out.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, there you go. Well, then you learn something new every day. Yeah,
science lesson, biology lesson, human bio.
Thanks for
human bio. Yeah. Anatomy.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Anatomy.
I'm excited for Cameron Brink to be back. I mean, I think she's a phenomenal player and is going to add a ton to the league. Especially, I mean, she does all the modeling stuff and she's got the podcast. Like she'll bring in a ton more attention too that will just add to it, but also like hopefully make the Sparks team better. You know, you get a little pick and roll with her and Kelsey Plum. She's more of a rim protector that the Sparks don't have. So if they can get a little bit better, I don't know, maybe they make a push for a playoff spot? That's probably a stretch, but she'll just add a ton of value to that team and the league overall. Hopefully.
Yeah, I made the joke a few weeks ago, Kate, that if they should show NBA players Cameron Brink's defensive tape, because her ability to not leave her feet and still contest and eliminate shot making is insane. They got to figure out how to like show that to the NBA players that are 7 feet jumping at 6'5" dudes.
Yeah. No, I mean her footwork, her presence in the paint, like it's underrated, and probably because we haven't seen much of her in the league at all that week. She's just kind of been pushed to the wayside, but she'll be fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Excited to see if that actually makes a difference for the Sparks in the back half of the season, because they need it. If they want to kind of push to make the playoffs and be a part of that, then that's a certain way that they're going to be able to do that. So, all right, guys, we talked about both of the games tonight. Gave you kind of all the bets that we like out there this evening. Now we're getting to the best portion of the show before we sign off here in the next 8 minutes or so. Let's cook a parlay. Let's have some fun. Now, I have a feeling I know, Kate, which direction you're going to want to go. I really liked what you were saying about that over. Is that your favorite bet today?
That's going to be my favorite bet today.
All right. We'll go with the over then. I can get down with that. I feel like that's a solid spot that chat can get behind as well. So we'll go with the over in the Sparks Mystics game. See what the live line is so we can see what we can lock in here and get involved. Chat, drop some dubs if you've enjoyed talking with Kate today. Unfortunately, she's not going to be back tomorrow. So if you only like the show with Kate, then we'll see you never again. I'm kidding. Go follow Kate on all the socials. Get involved with all of her content all across everything. You guys can tune into her show tomorrow morning as well, and get involved with everything that she has for us as well. Let me get in this 165. I feel like that's fine. You get the push potential, right?
I'm good with that.
Okay, 165. Let's get a bunch of buckets in Los Angeles. Suck. Which way do you want to go, my man? I like the Plum play. You did say that you like Plum quite a bit. I know Boston owes you pretty heavily. Kate, do you have a thought on either one of those props that he was talking about between Boston or Plum?
I kind of like Plum.
We could
Correlated
also
play to the over as well.
How about say helps the over?
we could also properly introduce Kate to the program where I try to keep my plays out of the parlays.
Yep. Well, that's not going to happen because I'm going to force it on you. So, 23.5. You want to go PA? Points and assists? Yeah. Okay. 23.5 PA. Well, I guess we're just making an SGP then. Because I'm going to go with Kiki as my play. I'm going to go with her PR, which is, let me just make sure that the live line is still what it is when we first got started. 18.5. So over 165. Kelsey Plum over 23.5 points and assists, and Kiki Ariafin over 18.5 points and rebounds, plus 390. Plus 390. Get you a nice little three-legger to sweat out tonight in the 2 WNBA games for the vibes. We'll post it on the timeline. Give us a follow at Your Betting News if you haven't already, if you'd like to tail it with us. As always, chat bet responsibly, half unit, quarter unit. Make sure to bet all these things individually as well. That's how you make money in the long run. But if you want to ride the parlay out with us, feel free to do so to have some fun on this Tuesday night. There it is, scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Now, Kate, before we let you go, in true fashion, chat's going to beg us, so I'll just go ahead and prevent the begging. We usually cook a lotto on this show. Just a little fun, a little something to throw a couple bucks on, cup of coffee, however you want to do it. So if you had somebody if you had like a play that you felt really good about someone going crazy, I mean, Tina Charles was somebody you was liking, or something along those lines. A little bit more of a laddered opportunity, I guess, would be the moves.
What if we take Tina Charles to have how crazy you guys want to go? 20, 25?
I like this. I love you. That was great. It's never too high for me. I'm a crazy person, but let's go 20. Let's keep it nice. Let's keep it nice and kosher. What is 20? What's the value? Let me see what I'm looking at here. 205. That does the job. Plus 205.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go Tina Charles 20 points. Sook, do you have somebody that you're feeling a little frisky about?
Ooh. Let's take Caitlin assists up like Kate wanted to do.
Ooh.
To 10.
I like that.
Get down with that. Plus 158. That does the job. All right, we're going to stick with this game then. We're just going to make a little combo SGP for this one. You guys can sweat out something in both games because that's how much we love you guys. Let's go 8 boards for Natasha Howard. So Tina Charles, 20 points, 8 rebounds for Natasha Howard. Caitlin Clark, 10 assists. That's plus 1803. Great year. Wonderful year. Plus 1803. Tina Charles for 20 points. Caitlin Clark for 10 assists, and Natasha Howard for 8 rebounds.
All right, I'm locked in on both of those already with you guys. So
let's go.
You're tailing
them in as we were chatting.
See, friend of the program, chat. If you don't bet it now, Kate's bet it too. Come on now. What do you have to lose? Both. Yeah, exactly. Bet both. Responsibly as always, chat. Responsibly. Yes. But hey, a cup of coffee on this one gets you $100. What else could you want? Just skip your coffee tomorrow, or just feel good about not having coffee at all. I don't know.
Or we'll just win the bets and you'll have extra money for coffee.
That is the energy that we needed right there. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today for the W. Huge shout out to our special guest, Kate Constable, today. As I said, go follow her on all the socials, get involved with her Twitter, get involved with her Instagram, get involved with all the things that she has. You guys can follow her as well on her show on BetMGM tomorrow, where they'll be talking about the 5 worst places for the quarterbacks to play and talking about how terrible my Titans are. So if you want to tune in and lambast me a little more, make sure to go and listen to that for a couple of hours. But we appreciate you. You got anything else you want to plug before we let you go?
I have a show on Saturdays, every Saturday from Central. I'm going to go in Central, 3 to 6 Central. That's what I meant. So I guess that makes 4 to 7 Eastern.
4 to 7 Eastern.
Yes, that would be that math. You guys will learn if I'm ever on a show with you again. Math just doesn't work in my brain. So that one's every Saturday. So you can check that out there. It's called The Better Angle on the BetMGM network. Otherwise, just catch all my stuff over on Twitter and BetMGM network. But it was fun hanging out with you guys. Appreciate you having me on. Appreciate the chat for showing a bunch of love and being so nice. And hopefully we can at least hit one of these plays for tonight.
I'm thinking both. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of coffees we need to pay for. Sounds good. We'll definitely have you back before the end of the WNBA season, and we'll obviously have you back again talking some NBA as well. But appreciate you so much for stopping by. Thanks for being here. Great talking with you. Chat, drop some major dubs for Kate. Go and enjoy the rest of your evening. I know you got dinner plans, and we got you out of here on time, so you're welcome.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Have a good one. Thanks so much. Big dubs, and we will catch you on the next one. Thank you, Kate.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
See ya.
Major dubs.
That was awesome.
Yeah, fantastic. Chat, again, I hope you guys tune into the dub next time, even though Kate's probably not going to be here because we had so many comments literally saying of how awesome she was and how great the show was. So I hope you guys still like the show even when Kate's not here.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's my job security looking now?
Just fine. Should be all good. Well, we appreciate you guys for tuning into the dub today. Massive show. Thanks for stopping by. Obviously, big thanks to Kate once again. There's the parlay if you'd like to write it out with us. We went a little softer on the dub, but we ended up doing an SGP in both games, so it ended up working out. Mystic Sparks over from Kate, Plum over 23.5 PA from Sook, and then Kiki Iriafin over 18.5 PR from me plus 390. And then the lotto, if you'd like to get a little spicy with it, of Caitlin Clark 10 assists, Tina Charles 20 points, and Natasha Howard 8 rebounds for plus 1,800 ish. Get involved over there as well. Good stuff, dude. Great show. Good vibes all around. We'll be back tomorrow. Sook and I will not be live with you guys tomorrow. The boys from Up Your Units will be live in the evening right here on the network. Give us a follow on all the channels if you haven't already. One more thing to tell you guys. Tomorrow, we will begin our recording process of all the divisional previews that we will have on the Betting News Network for the NFL season. So we will be jumping into I'm not going to tell you which division we're starting off with. I'm going to tease you guys on what we're going to start off with. But the video will be dropping Thursday morning. We will be doing every single division coverage to give you guys kind of setting you up on what happened with each individual division in the offseason, getting you guys ready for the season. We're going to do every division, break it all down for you. So subscribe to the YouTube channel so we can you guys can know exactly when those videos go live. They will also be available up for you to listen on Spotify on podcast version if you just want to get the audio edition as well. And we'll also have new content coming to you guys Friday morning as the Violence Report will drop. Just the recorded edition, though, and that will be on YouTube, and that will also be on Spotify. So go follow us on all the social platforms. We got a lot of other content that we're going to have for you guys, not just the live stuff. Now we'll have a lot more recorded content for you guys to get involved with as well. And I think that's all the housekeeping. It's been fun hanging out once again. Had a good show with Kate today. Always fun hanging out with you.
One more thing, Portland plus 3.5, pesky Portland. Don't forget they play basketball tonight. Go ahead and tap in. They're taking on the Pelicans. I think they got a good chance to upset them there. So might have the money line and some parlays.
All right now. There's some summer league right at the very end from Suck Pesky Portland. Are we rolling with Yang tonight again too? All right now.
Okay. Ooh, I don't like his minutes. They gotta let him play a little.
I think they're just trying to make sure that he doesn't overdo it in summer. They are. I mean, we've already had Cooper Flag get shut down. We already had who was the other player that got shut down already?
Oh, so many guys played 2 games and it's already over for him.
Yeah,
Walter Clayton Jr. So many guys.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this. It was one of those situations that was going to happen. But anyway, summer league there for you. We just talked to Dub for the last hour. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Go follow Just Sook on the timeline. Go follow me at Sweatpan Jesus. Go follow our special guest Kate Constable. Go follow all of us at Your Betting News. We really appreciate you guys for tuning into the content every single day. You guys came for the winners and you stayed for the vibes. We'll catch you tomorrow for Up Your Units, and we will see you guys on the next one. Have a great night, chat. Enjoy the games this evening. We will see you on the next one. Peace and love. Take it easy.
What you know about rolling down in the down in the
Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here.
rolling.
What you gonna do?
Rolling.
What you gonna do now?
Down in the rolling.
What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit.
What you know about